Hey, what's ready? Welcome back to News Dose, and it sounds like we're gonna have a fun latter half of the month with all of the big three planning some big-time showcases. There's been a lot of rumors about a September Nintendo Direct and a PlayStation State of Play, but then on the side of Xbox, they just revealed their own event, and allegedly, this will include a major announcement that fans are absolutely gonna want to tune in for. So make sure to stick around, and we're gonna talk about all of that, plus plenty more. First, though, I do want to thank my supporters on Patreon and on YouTube memberships. Thank you just so much for what you do, and you will receive this video through early access. Let's go get right into things, though, starting off with Digimon Story Time Stranger. Now, I'm actually really looking forward to this game because I do have a soft spot for this series. I grew up on it as one of my favorite childhood shows, and this specific game looks like pretty much everything that I've ever dreamed of for a Digimon game. I mean, visually, it looks absolutely incredible. But there has been, unfortunately, one concern. It's locked to 30 FPS on consoles. Now, I do find that to be a very unfortunate situation because I feel like this generation should be all about 60 FPS because that's what gamers prioritize most. And really, it's just what we expect by this point. So I think it's mind-blowing that we still have certain games that for whatever reason cannot meet that criteria. But on a more positive note, Bandai Namco just revealed a demo for Digimon Time Stranger. It'll go live on September 11th, and not only can we use that demo to gauge if this game is, as good as it looks, but it can also be an opportunity for us to see how it feels at 30 FPS. I mean, it is a turn-based JRPG after all, so it's possible that it might feel a bit better than what some of us might expect. So, I mean, at the very least, we can try it ourselves here in just a few days. Now, we also got news for what appears to be a new Dead Island game. Yeah, Dead Island 2 took around 10 years to develop, but ultimately, it turned out to be successful enough to greenlight a brand new entry. This was revealed through a Dead Island 14th anniversary post on Steam. 14 years, 2 games, 7 years. Yeah, we get it. But you can read here. They said it's been 14 years since Dead Island first splattered onto the scene, stranding players in the blood-soaked paradise of Banoi. Since then, the apocalypse has crawled from tropical shores to the sun-drenched chaos of Hell A in Dead Island 2, where over 20 million slayers have left nothing but carnage behind. This isn't the final cut, though. The studio is already carving out what comes next. For now, the details stay under wraps, but the outbreak is far from over. Now, technically, this could be a tease for an expansion or even a spinoff. This doesn't 100% guarantee a Dead Island 3 per se, but I'd say if anything else, it's a pretty good indication. They mentioned 20 million slayers, and even though it was a part of Xbox Game Pass at one point, that's still very impressive. And I think that's the big thing for this series. As long as they can get it through development without taking 6+ years to make it, then yeah, I think a third game can be very successful. The problem for Dead Island 2 was never because of a lack of popularity. It was more so because of the issues that the studio ran into over the course of 10 years. But as long as they can keep from repeating that same problem, then I think Dead Island 3 will have a much better opportunity to hit all of their internal goals. And hopefully that also means a better end product for gamers as well. Now, speaking of games that were successful enough to get the green light for another installment, Panzer Dragoon 2 Remake just got confirmed for every major platform. Now, that means PC, that means the Switch, PlayStation, and yes, even Xbox. It'll be $25 when it eventually releases, but as of right now, they've yet to reveal an exact release date. However, they did mention that it will be playable at TGS later this month. So maybe we'll get that information there. But either which way, this, I'd say, is great news. Panzer Dragoon is a highly beloved series among 90 Sega fans. And really, if you think about it, right now really is a great time for Sega fans. Not only because of this, but also because Sega has been reviving a lot of their dormant franchises from that era. Games like Shinobi, Jet Set Radio's on the way back, there's a new Crazy Taxi coming, a new Echo the Dolphin is on the way, and we also have the Panzer Dragoon games here as well. However, I hope this is just the beginning. As cool as it is to see Panzer Dragoon 2 Remake, my hope is to see Panzer Dragoon Saga eventually make a return as well. Now, that's more of a JRPG, but a lot of people consider an all-time great, and it's not exactly the easiest or the cheapest game to find in the modern era. All right, now, since we're on the topic of TGS, Xbox just announced their own TGS broadcast, which is now officially slated for September 25th. And the thing is that Xbox might not exactly be the biggest player in Japan, but even still, they have quietly put together some fairly strong TGS events this generation. They typically have various surprises from different Japanese studios. This is where they announced Ni no Kuni for Xbox Game Pass, and it's also the same place where they revealed Octopath Traveler 2 for Xbox as well. So right away, if you are a Game Pass subscriber, and if you like Japanese games, then their TGS showcase is definitely worth paying attention to. They might have a few surprises in store. Now, of course, I'll give you the highlights when they're finished up, but this year, it sounds like they have something a bit bigger than usual planned. Now, I'll circle back to that here in just a moment, but first, let's go and take a look at their announcement. It reads, "We're thrilled to announce the Xbox Tokyo Game Show 2025 broadcast on Thursday, September 25th. This year's show will feature titles from our creative teams, alongside exciting updates from our partners in Japan, across Asia, and around the world." And what I want you to pay attention to from this announcement is that they confirmed that they will feature titles from their own internal teams. Now, that's actually important because there recently was a leak that the next Forza Horizon will be announced at TGS 2025. This was first reported on by Windows Central. They said that they had seen documentation suggesting Forza Horizon 6 will be announced at this year's Tokyo Game Show. But that wasn't quite all, because Nate the Hate also chimed in and said, "Accurate. Barring any late pivots, intent is to announce Forza Horizon 6 at this year's Tokyo Game Show, which takes place in late September. The game's setting is Japan, making TGS an apt venue for reveal. Before you ask, no, I have not heard of a Switch 2 version." So, I mean, there's a lot of smoke behind this rumor. I mean, there was even a car company last month that accidentally leaked information for the next Forza Horizon, and the image that they included was of a car that is specifically known for being in Japan. So, yeah, there's a lot of credible sources behind this leak, and now that Microsoft themselves have confirmed that they will feature titles from their own internal teams at TGS, then yeah, this very well could happen. Now, even if not, there are two other games that I would still keep an eye on. One is Ninja Gaiden 4. They've already confirmed that it will have a booth at TGS. And then the other one is OD from Kojima Studios. Now, this might be a little bit less likely, but interestingly, as we talked about last week, Kojima has an event planned for the 22nd called Beyond the Strand. And he is teasing a glimpse into future projects. So maybe we'll finally get a better reveal for OD just ahead of the Tokyo Game Show. And then Xbox could, show it again at their own event, given that they are the publisher. Now, like I said, that's probably a little less likely, but again, where there's smoke, there's fire, and there's a lot of smoke for Forza Horizon 6 in Japan at this year's TGS. Now, one more thing before we go, and just to stay on topic of Japanese games, it sounds like Xbox and Nintendo fans will finally be able to catch up on the Final Fantasy VII Remake experience. I mean, it's kind of ridiculous that it took them this long, if I'm being completely honest. I've said it time and time again, but Square Enix made a terrible mistake making these games exclusive, given how big this series is and just how expensive they are to make. But hey, it's better late than never, and it sounds like Final Fantasy VII Rebirth will finally be on Xbox and on the Switch 2 in 2026. This is according to Nate the Hate, who said this over on Reddit. Rebirth is coming to Switch 2 and Xbox in 2026, so you'll get your answer as to how it runs on the Switch 2 next year. With some well-utilized DLSS, Square Enix can deliver Rebirth on Switch 2. Now, to be a little optimistic here, just regarding the Switch 2, I mean, we have been hearing some great things about the first Final Fantasy VII Remake on the Switch 2. I mean, it's often described as the best looking game on the Switch 2. But at the same time, I am going to point out that Rebirth was a very bad looking game on the base PlayStation 5 when it originally launched. I mean, okay, maybe I shouldn't say it's a bad looking game, but it definitely has that Vaseline filter. The image quality is just not very good. It's very blurry. Now, thankfully, the PlayStation 5 Pro eventually fixed that problem, but I definitely think that there's a good reason to be skeptical of what it will look like on the Switch 2, given the problems that it already has on the base PS5. Now, I hope DLSS can work some magic, because otherwise, it'll probably also be a blurry mess. Either which way, though, I mean, it really is a great game, and I'm thrilled to see more people get the chance to play it. I mean, I've been talking about this situation for years and years. I always thought that Nintendo was really the perfect fit for them, just given their popularity in Japan. But I always had people in the comments kind of, argue against me when it came to this entire topic. Like, it's never going to happen. It's always going to be exclusive to PlayStation. But here we are. It's happening. And regardless of this leak, it's really just a matter of when, not if. And even better is that everybody can kind of get caught up before the eventual Final Fantasy VII Part 3. I just kind of hope that Part 3 also launches as a completely multi-platform game. I mean, I imagine that it will, but, at the same time, it's hard to say whether or not Sony secured some kind of deal before Square Enix's new leadership took them in a more multi-platform direction. I mean, I guess we'll see. Anyways, though, that's me for this episode, but until next time, make sure to subscribe, ring that bell, and peace out.